Okay guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be discussing Raith Rovers, and today is the Raith Rovers player ratings. Now I did this a few seasons back, and I've kind of missed out the last few seasons, but I kind of fancy doing it this season because I think there's a lot to uncover, especially because we've gone through three managers, and we're now at a stage where we're sitting fifth on the cusp of playoffs. Very unfortunate not to get it in the end. And there's quite a few players I'd like to talk about and let my opinion be known. So, starting off here, we have Ewan Murray. Now, I think by his standards, a very underwhelming season. I think he definitely peaked under Ian Murray, and he's never really got a look in under Barry Robson. I feel like it has been justified. I don't think he's been as good this season. I think he's looked less confident. And I think the back four, or back three even, of Hanlon, Jordan Doherty, and I forgot the other one, Callum Fordyce, has been really, really strong, especially since Robson's came in, and I think we'll get on to talk about them a bit later, and I think he's kind of fell on the cusp. I'd have to put him in the OK players based on this season. If you were to ask me maybe last season, I'd maybe put him at maybe the bottom of the great players, but for me, I think he has to go into the OK players category. So moving on to Lewis Jamieson. Now I will be talking about some players who are no longer at the club. So I'm covering everyone that has played for Raith in the season of 2024-25. So Lewis Jamieson, again, I think I've got to put him in the OK players. Similar probably to it, Ewan Murray. I think his work rate is excellent. I think he clearly has talent and he clearly has potential. I think he was made it to be out a bit worse than he was because I think he was put out on the wing rather than put up front, which is really where he should have been playing. But from a pressing, energetic, point of view, he was very good, very talented, worked hard, gave it his all, and I think I really appreciate the work and the couple of goals he did get for Raith. Moving on, we've got Cody David. A very strange one, a very strange one. I feel like he didn't get the chance he deserved. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't think he got fully up to fitness. I think that might have been what it was. But he definitely showed glimpses of promise and glimpses of hope. And then as soon as he started coming into stride a bit, contract runs out. I mean, he's already out at the club, so I can't really put him in the bad/sell category. I mean, and I wouldn't say he was bad either. I think he definitely didn't have as much of a chance to prove himself, but I certainly don't think he was bad in the time he was given. But I think he would have to go under Murray and Lewis Jamieson. I'm going to try and order these as well in the categories. Moving on to Fantaki Dabo. Be honest, I don't think he's bad enough to be put in bad, but I mean, this should have been a breeze. When I first seen this signing happen, I probably put him above Cody David. When I first seen this signing happen, I thought to myself, "Wow, this is it. This is really going to bolster our squad." I thought the signings itself by the board in the summer were really, really good. So I was surprised to see how poor we were doing. Dabo just never looked too bothered, never looked too interested. And then he got injured, and then obviously contracts ran out. I think it's clearly an issue with him rather than his ability as a player, because I don't know how you could go from playoffs in the Championship to Scottish Championship and then struggling in League 2 with Forest Green. I know Troy Deeney, manager at the time, said he had a attitude problem. I don't know what's going on, but I really hope he can really rejuvenate his career because it's unfortunate. And his time at Raith just did not work out. Moving on, Josh Ray. I think it's an interesting one, because I think coming in, he's done good, and I think he's done what people wanted from Dabrowski in a sense of his distribution's better. He can command his box. He can control his defenders. From a shot-stopping point of view, he's nowhere near as good as Dabrowski. I'm going to have to put him in the decent players. I don't think he is a great or one of our best players, Potential, yes. Potential to definitely improve. But at this current moment, he's in the decent player category for me. Funnily enough, Dabrowski's actually last. But yeah, I've got to put Josh in the decent player category. Next up, Aidan Marsh. It's going to sound controversial. Right into the great players. I think his attitude is fantastic. He works hard. He did everything he could in the minutes he was given. I think he showed real glimpses of promise and talent. And if it's up to me, I'm saying get him back for next season. I think we could see some exits in our striker department, and I feel like he would be an excellent addition. He's young, he's got potential, he's talented, great attitude, fan favourite. Really, really like him, and to be honest, he's been one of my favourite players since coming in January. Definitely get him back. Moving up, we have Jamie Gullen, and to be honest, great player. When I first seen we actually re-signed Jamie Gullen, I was a bit like, because he was under Ian Murray, kind of came into Championship, and I feel like he lost that bit of something, that bit of flair that he had, and he had a lot of injuries. He's came in since January. I don't think he's really missed a game, and to be honest, he's been excellent. I think his work rate has been really, really good. I think he's shown passion. I think he's got that spark back. And to me, I don't know if he's out of contract, because I think it might have just been a 6-month deal. But if I'm the gaffer, I'm saying get him back for next season, get his contract extended. Really good player, and to be honest, really deserves his merits this season, because I think he's really, really improved since we last saw him. Moving on to, I believe that's Jake Nicholson. Got to put him in the OK players. We have not really seen Jake play, so I feel like it would be harsh to judge otherwise. I feel like there's potential there, and we're just going to have to wait and see next season. Next up, George Dutal. Again, similar to Jake, didn't get to see him play. I think it's unfortunate. He's kind of came in as a Kieran Freeman replacement, but Doherty absolutely excelled at right back. For me, I feel like it's a really unfortunate one for George not to get any game time, but I think I really want to see him kick on next season. I hope he does really well in his footballing career. Moving on, we have Callum Hannah. Again, can't really judge, didn't really play for Raith this season, but I do know that he's a good centre half, and I have heard some people say that he is a good defender from the teams he's been out on loan to. I've heard some positive feedback around him, so I mean it'd be nice to see him kick on. Maybe I'd get a few more minutes next season. I think he's out of contract. I hope he gets extended. There's quite a few people who are out of contract who I really hope to be extended. Moving on, Lewis Stevenson, put on above Jamie Dolan there. Not one of our best players, but one of our great players. Veteran on the pitch. I think it shows. I think he's very calm. He's cool. He's collected, and the talent is there. Great player. And we've got him for another year, which is great. I think after that, I feel like it might be a time to call it a day. But for now, he's doing well, and I hope to see him kick on next season. Kai Montague. So going to have to go on the OK players. I'll put him below Ewan Murray. I think there's certainly a lot of potential there. Certainly a lot of potential. The one thing I think he does need to improve on is his shooting. I think there's been a few chances that I've watched and he probably should have converted. He's not scored, but he's young. He's got a lot of talent, potential. His pressing's good. He's got a good understanding of the game, and at someone at his age, he has impressed me. So again, I really hope he can kick on next season and be that sort of, back up to the Byrne, Matthews, Scott Brown rotation again. I really hope he gets more minutes. Next up, Jordan Doherty, and this is probably going to maybe surprise some people, but straight away, my laptop's lagging. That's still an Easton. Where'd Jordan go? There he is. Best player, probably our January signing of the season. The best signing in January easily. Absolutely amazing player. I think his ability to get up the pitch as well from defence is brilliant. His recovery is great. He's great in the air. He's calm and composed on the ball. Genuinely one of our best players, and I feel like he has really not gotten enough credit for how well he's done since coming into the team. I think he's a real asset to us now at Raith, and I really hope he can stay on. And I'm pretty sure he's got another year on his contract anyway, but I really hope he can stay on for longer because I think he's great, and I hope he can continue that for next season. Next up, Sean Byrne. Into great players he goes. A couple injuries here and there in the season, and to be honest, I don't think he really got his full confidence back. However, I'm going to put him above Aidan Marsh though. However, to be honest, we still saw glimpses of the Sean Byrne that proved why he was one of the best defenders in the league last season. I feel like he was really unfortunate in the last sort of run of games when it was Brown and Matthews to not get as many minutes as he did. He's a brilliant player. He's so good, and I'm sure he does have another year on his contract. But he's such a great player, and I really hope we can keep him again, and he can keep it up for next season. Moving on, Scott Brown. Now, if you were to ask me last season again, he would probably be on the top of the great players cusp of best players. But this season, I don't know. I don't think he's had a good season, Scott Brown. I'm going to put him above Aidan Marsh because I still think he's a great player. As our captain, I think he is a pretty solid captain. But I would prefer to have Sean Byrne and Ross Matthews in that midfield too. I don't know. I feel like Scott Brown is a good player. He's just not shown it as well this season. I don't know why. Maybe it's because Ian Murray's no longer the manager, but I don't think he's had the best season by his standards. And I think this was always going to happen as well. A couple of players, you look at last season where we excelled, and then this season we've struggled a bit more. It's always going to, I think, show or come out a bit worse than it will. Moving on to Finlay Pollock, I think he's got to go probably just above Jamie Gullen. I think ever since Barry Robson came in, he has absolutely revived Finlay Pollock, who is probably sitting somewhere in the OK players. And I mean, he's got Finlay to a Scotland under-21 call-up. I think he's a really good player, and I'd love to see him back for next season. And it is a real shame in that final run of games that he did get injured, because there is a chance that he might have been able to push us over the line to the playoffs. Great player, and again, I'd love to see him back next season along with Aidan Marsh. Moving on to Lewis Gibson. I'm going to put him in the bottom of the decent players because at times he's shown real glimpses of quality. Young player, great potential. I really think he'll excel with more minutes and another full pre-season. I think if he remains injury free, then in all fairness, that it could be a very good season for Lewis Gibson. I was impressed by quite a few of the things with Lewis. I still think there's more to come, so definitely in that decent player slot. Next up, Sam Stanton. Unfortunately, we got to sell him. One of our best players. I think no one doubts that. Probably our best player last season. One of our best players this season. Maybe not as much as I think the attitude kind of showed. I think that since Ian Murray got sacked, I think he's been a bit, which is a real shame. I think you look at the games when we have Stanton and when we don't have him, it's night and day. But unfortunately, he doesn't want to be at the club, and there's nothing more we can do. Next up, Josh Mullen, another one for the sell category. Personally, I just don't think he's good enough. I don't know who decided to give him a 3-year contract, but that was a really poor decision. I think under Robson, he has improved. He has improved, but I don't think he's championship standard. I think he's League One standard. I don't think his ability to attack is great. I think he can put on a good cross. I think he's one of the best crossers in the league. But other than crossing and tracking back a bit and doing a bit of defensive work, he's not got enough in his game for me to justify him playing on a regular basis. So I would be looking, if I was the manager, I'd be looking to sell Josh Mullen. And I don't know if his work rate's the best either. I think that right wing back position is a really, really key position we need to get into that window and sign someone for. So moving on, Andy McNeil. Unfortunate, I know he's a sort of backup goalkeeper. Unfortunate to not get more minutes. I thought, when Dabrowski was, not playing too great, I thought he would really get his chance to shine, and he never got it, which was a real shame. I've got to put him probably just above Callum Hanna here. I think he's a good keeper. I think he's shown glimpses of a quality keeper. Not given that chance. See what happens with him next season. I don't know. I think he's out of contract. Whether or not he stays, I don't know. Just have to wait and see. Next up, Callum Smith. It's another one I'd sell. It's going to sound harsh, especially coming off the back of his leg injury this season. But even before that, I've not really thought he was that great of a player, Callum Smith. I think I've seen him play. Sometimes he'll come off the bench and there's no impact. I just don't think he's Championship standard. I think he's League One standard. Whether the club offer him a contract, he's out of contract, is up to them. If you're going to keep him on, I'd say keep him on for a 1-year deal, loan him out until January, whether that's into the Championship or League One, see how he does and then go from there. If not, I think we just sell him, because I think that we could get some better players in that position for next season. Next up, Lewis Vaughan. I think based on the season, it's hard. I don't want to put him too... I'm going to put him there, and that might surprise people, but he's only played, a matter of games. We all know he's one of our great players. He's, on his day, one of our best players. We all know that. But he's not played that much this season. He's not really had a chance of being injured. I'm so glad he's back, though, and I really hope he can kick on next season, because he is one of our own at the end of the day. Moving on here, we have Jack Hamilton. It's another player I'd sell. He's injury prone. I think he's a good striker, and I think he's shown that at times. I think his hold-up play is excellent. I think he's really good in the air. But I feel like, going forward next season, we need to utilise Vaughan. We need to utilise... what was I going to say? We need to utilise Vaughan. We have Jamie Gullen, who can play up front. I really would like to try and bring back Finlay Pollock and or Aidan Marsh. And if we were able to sign Marsh and Pollock, I really don't see the need for Jack Hamilton to be at the club. Good player, but injury prone. I feel like he could do with a good year in League One to prove himself. Next up, Ross Matthews. Absolutely fantastic player. He goes top of the great players for me. Passion. Should be probably captain, in my opinion, over Scott Brown. That could be that could be judged or argued. But based on the season, I think Ross Matthews has demonstrated he could be a better captain than Scott Brown, and I think him and Sean Byrne would be the better two in that midfield pivot. What a player. Everyone loves him. The club love him. He's just great. Next up, Aidan Connolly. I think he's got to go top of the decent players. I think it's a real shame for Aidan. I think he's, under Barry Robson especially, I feel like he's been really limited to his minutes. But the impact he provides off the bench is really, really good. He's so creative, very talented. And he is also one of these sort of fan favourites too. I really hope... Does I think he is out of contract? I'm not too sure. I really hope he does get kept on if he is out of contract. It would be a real shame to see Aidan go. Great player. Now, see, I've got Ewan Murray twice, so we'll leave Ewan from down there. Moving forward, we have Dylan Easton, and I think we all know where he's going at the top. He's the creative mastermind. Without him, penalties, free kicks, the amount of fouls he draws is excellent. Good from the spot, good from the free kicks. Really creative. Players Player of the Year, probably I think the Fans Player of the Year as well. That might have been Hamlin, I can't remember, but he's just so good, and we're so lucky to have a player as good as Dylan Easton at the team. So moving forward, Callum Fordyce. There, I said it, top of the best players, and that might be controversial. I wonder how many times I've said that now, but since Barry Robson came in and he dropped that back four like Ewan Murray and Liam Dick, which I don't know what the hell was going on there. That Hanlon, Fordyce, and Doherty back three has been absolutely amazing, and Callum Fordyce has played a massive part of that. The last home game I saw was when we played Airdrie, and it was a 1-1 draw, which we should have probably won about 5-1. That was the last game I went to, which is annoying because I missed some good ones like Falkirk and Queen's Park, because I've been busy with exams. He was the best player in the park by a country mile. Him and Jordan Doherty were just so good, and I think next season he needs to lock down that starting position, because him, Hanlon, and Doherty, they've got that back three now. They're the set ones. There's no change in that. They're just so good. And next up, Paul Hanlon. Again, for me, he goes second, just behind Dylan. Oh, that's Liam Dick. Hold on. Whoa, what happened there? Right, there's Doherty. That's Fordyce. Do I not have Paul Hanlon? I thought I did. Where did Paul Hanlon go? There he is. He's in the OK players. Right. Paul Hanlon, second behind Dylan Easton, and I only say that because I just think Dylan Easton has given that bit more. Paul Hanlon, great player. Couple mistakes in him. That's me being nitpicky. He's been absolutely brilliant all season, and he's just a great player to have. We're very lucky to have Paul Hanlon at our team, because he could have probably done another year in the Premiership. Yeah, great player, and I think we've now found that defensive trio that we need. We've got a good left wing back in Lewis Stevenson. We just need a good right wing back, and I think we're sorted. And we also need a new goalkeeper, because Dabrowski looks like he's going out the door. So yeah, we know that could open the door for a Josh Ray return, which I'd be very welcome to. Next up, Kieran Freeman. I know he's out of contract, so I'm just going to put him in the sell category, because to be honest, I think in glimpses he's shown that he does have quality. But then just as he was doing well, he got loaned out, which was a bit of a questionable move. I don't know how well he's done it on loan, to be honest. But he's out of contract. I don't see him being retained. And it's been a bit unfortunate, but I'd like to see what he does in his future, because I feel like there's potential there. Next up, Kevin Dabrowski. Wow. What a hard one to judge. I'm going to put him next to his compadre Josh Ray. I feel like he's been really unlucky. I feel like he did get made a bit of a scapegoat when we started doing really poor in like November, December kind of time. You know, just before Neil Collins kind of then picked it up again. But he did make a lot of mistakes. And, you know, this time last season I had him and Dylan Easton and, you know, Sean Byrne, and I had so many players in like the best players category. He was up there. His shot stopping, no doubt, is the best in the league. But what lets him down, as we all know, is his distribution and his commanding of the area. And it's a shame. I think he is joining St Mirren, I believe, on an end of contract. I read that somewhere. I don't know how true it is. But I don't think he'll be staying on, which is a shame, because I feel like he is a bit of a fan favourite, and I feel like as well, like, I think he's been a bit made of a scapegoat and made out as worse than he actually was. I think a lot of it was the back, you know, the defenders as well, who I'll cover now with Liam Dick. And to be honest, I think, and I've said this for a while, Liam Dick I don't think's that great. I think he's a League One player at best. I think he's got a good work rate. I think he's got a bit of passion in him. But ability-wise, I've been saying this since really after the first season we had Liam. I don't know why or how he keeps getting extended, his contract. With Barry Robson now that he's kind of fallen out of favour, I could see his contract being let go. And if I was a manager, I would be doing that too. I think overall, looking at this list now, there's certainly a lot of positions we could definitely do with filling in. As I say, right wing back, something we definitely need to look at. Goalkeeper, definitely a striker. Hopefully Marsh, Pollock, Ray, they could hopefully all come back. I feel like all three of them were really good. Definitely a right wing back. Maybe like another backup young left back kind of player, that'd be really cool. I think we could maybe do another wide player as well, and I think that if that was those are the sort of priorities I'd be looking for the summer. But anyways, thank you everyone for listening. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions on my ratings. Let me know if you would change some around. Let me know if Do you think I'm completely delusional putting some players in where they are? And just let me know your guys' thoughts. I'm really intrigued, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Okay.